And we are live. Okay. Just give me 1 second. All right, so back again with another live. We're talking about, if you read the title, introduction of the game-changing Windows 365 Cloud PC. So this product was introduced by Microsoft sometime back last year as early release. It was still in I want to say beta, but now it's been out for some time. It's been out generally available for every I guess user, admin, or tenant. So before we go into the details of Windows 365 Cloud PC, let's look in let's think about why would you need a cloud PC? Well, with what happened last year, um, it was basically everything got shut down. We're still in some kind of chip shortage or PC shortage, but when you look at those factors and you just think about stuff like that, why wouldn't a cloud PC be available to everybody or to those who could afford it? You have accessibility. It could basically be available to every employee within a small business, SMB or SME size business. Takes little configuration. All you have to do is just have the license on the back end, and you assign it directly to a user. And in order to connect to it, you could go through a web browser or have a third party. Microsoft has Microsoft Remote, I believe it's called Remote Connection, Remote Desktop Connection. That's available on all platforms, Mac, Android. There might be a Ubuntu version, I believe so, but not 100%. So you have a cloud PC that's available to everybody within your small business. I remember during that time, during the beginning, or probably in the middle, there was a mad scramble to just get PCs ready to be shipped out, configured. Um, Now imagine if you have about 1,200 users, never worked from home, never connected to any type of remote system, selective few. Um, PCs have to be configured, update, latest patch. Um, Software has to be installed, VPN. But if you look at it from a smaller SMB, SME standpoint, what kind of headache did they have to go through? They didn't know how to work from home. They didn't know the concept of working from home. So with a cloud PC, you basically eliminate all of that. Um, I heard about this being created some time back, even before the whole shutdown, but just never thought it would be possible to see a fully. Yeah, I thought it would be possible with development within the cloud, and data centers being all over the world. Something like this had to happen eventually. So Microsoft was the first to push this out. ASW has something similar, but again, it's more just your just generic Windows OS that's virtualized. This cloud PC is basically a whole different architecture, I want to say, just whole different frame. So right now I'm actually in the process of provisioning a cloud PC. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the back end. Just it takes some time for the provisioning to go through. Um, Again, this is still early release product. It's available to everybody, but I still consider it um, early release. So right now it's still setting up the cloud PC. You got to factor in a lot of policies got to be pushed down. So just think of it as your regular machine. But let's get into some points on why something like this should be available to everybody. Now, we talked about accessibility. Again, all it just takes is just a license for the cloud PC. Microsoft has a remote desktop connection that's available on all platforms: Apple, um, Apple, iPad, Macs, Android. So your ability to connect to it is fairly easy. If you're a Microsoft user, all you have to do is just put in your Microsoft, depending on how it's set up and who manages your system. It's basically just point you in the direction of a link, um, or there should be some other ways. I'll look into it how to publish it to the user's device. But again, accessibility. You use a device to connect to it, or you could go directly into through a web browser. Scalability. During the whole lockdown situation, a lot of business had issues scaling, had issues bringing their whole infrastructure or technology stack, giving it the ability to work from home. But most modern day solutions should have that ability to have users work from home. Um, I know a lot of people were freaking out during that whole lockdown situation that they've never worked from home. They've never connected back into whatever infrastructure they worked in. But again, stuff like this should be looked at as the normal. It should be looked at as something that should be available and known by every employee, regardless of if they have the ability to work from home or if they don't. So that's scalability. Security. Another great benefit of Windows 365 is that it provides advanced security features to keep your data safe, which is true. If you look at if you're a business that has Microsoft Premium and then you have Azure attached to Premium, all those security policies that are created in Azure actually gets pushed down to that cloud PC. So again, security follows you everywhere you go. Um, so let me finish my statement. Keep your data safe. BitLock encryption is actually on the cloud PC. So Windows 365 users, Microsoft secures cloud infrastructure, Azure, to ensure data is encrypted and protected. So yes, all that gets pushed down to the cloud PC with no issues whatsoever. Now, when we look at cost effective, Windows 365 also offers cost effective solutions for business. What is this? Dismiss. Sorry, calendar just went off. So we're talking about cost effective. So the license for a cloud PC, depending on the model itself, well, I don't want to say model, but depending on the specification itself, is really quite cheap. So right now I'm running a a 8 virtual core CPU, 32 gigs of RAM, and 256 gigabyte of storage, which is not bad. That's actually um, what your average standard PC has come in straight from the factory. No modifications, no customization. Like that is basically what most laptops are running now, depending on the make and model. So you get that for as a Microsoft CSP. My license is different. My cost is different. But let's take a look and we'll see what that price looks like. So um, so Windows 365 Business, an 8 V core CPU, 32 gigs of RAM, 256 gigabyte of storage. So we're talking about on a monthly basis. Let's look at the calendar. So 129 times 12. So monthly basis, you're looking at times that by 12. You're looking at I want to no, that's okay. Thanks. Um, so you're looking at roughly the same cost of the average machine that you would buy straight from, Lenovo or Dell, maybe even just shaving off a few dollars here and there. But again, you're looking at it, if you go to buy a PC to say give it to an employee to work from home, you're actually paying tax from the manufacturer, you're paying tax within the state that you're in, and then you have to ship that laptop to who knows where. With a cloud PC, you could actually just provision that in real time, keep your costs low, but you have more processing power in the cloud. All it just takes is just an admin to kind of configure the PC, install the necessary applications, make sure the security is there, and then just push it out to the client or to the end user. So if you were to do that with a traditional laptop, you would have to do the same thing, wait for it to be shipped to you, who's the admin, configure it, probably image it, depending on the size of the business, install the necessary application, test, make sure it's fully patched and update, then repackage it again, make sure all the necessary accessories are in there, ship it out to the client. So a process that takes roughly a week and a half, give or take, depending on the turnaround time, that's actually cut down to what, maybe 30 minutes, give or take. And that's not talking the installation of software. So you're going from a week and a half to roughly, good estimate, installing software, a day. So yeah, so when we talk about cost effective, definitely the cost is much more um significant than buying a traditional PC and shipping it out. So let's talk about ease of management. So Windows 365 is extremely easy to manage. Um, Again, if you're a small business that has Microsoft Azure attached to your tenant, all those security and policies are definitely in place. Easily easily pushed out to that cloud PC in real time, no delay. You can actually give, if you choose as an admin, you could actually give that end user administrative access to that cloud PC. There is a portal that's behind the scenes that lets you give users administrative access. I was working with a temp behind the scenes. Um, her machine was her physical machine was really slow, so I basically gave her a cloud PC, showed her how to sign in, and she was able to sign in, no issues. She worked on it. I know a small law firm that actually has two users working on a cloud PC. Um, Again, really easy to manage, easy to give the end user administrative access. Giving somebody administrative access to a cloud PC is not, it's not what you think. They're not going to override any policies or anything like that. It's basically just giving them the privilege to install the necessary applications they need. It's not going to override any security policies, anything like that. Again, if you're talking about, if your tenant is managed by me, if something were to happen, I would get that alert in real time, um, on the back end. So, but I'm still waiting for this PC, this cloud PC to load. It's let's see. Yeah, I should have did it from this morning or maybe early on today. But I'm gonna see if I could hopefully get this to run. But all right, let's continue. So, in conclusion, in summary, Windows 365 is, I think, basically has a lot of potential. It has, it's a good solution, easy to manage. You have a cloud-based PC that's able to scale. There's different variations. Let me see if I could give you a full breakdown. Cloud PC comparison. And you could actually do, I believe now it actually has multi-monitor support. So if you're running maybe on a Mac, you have your docking station, peripherals, whatever, and it's connected to two monitors. Windows 365 has the support for dual monitors. So I'm going to show you what overall pricing looks like. Again, it varies between SMB and SME and enterprise, so small medium sized business versus an enterprise solution. Um, a lot more features within the enterprise compared to what majority of small business will be using this for. So I'm going to share my screen. So if we look at traditional, the if we look at specification of the cloud PC, cost per user per month. So we have your basic, um, 8 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of memory, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage. So a monthly subscription with auto renew, you're looking at $32 per user, um, compared to, um, they do have the ability to be hybrid. So cost comparison to full cloud versus hybrid, 32 gigs of storage. I've tried this version. I I think they should drop this version because it's not really that smooth. A lot of hiccups. You should definitely move into making your standard just basically either a four virtual CPU. You have 16 gigs of RAM, 128 gig of storage, 16 gigs RAM, 256 gig storage. Again, you have three variations of the standard specs: 16 gig of RAM, 512 gigabyte of storage. If it's full cloud hosted, that's 150. That's $105 per month per user. Again, it is available if you through me if you want a year license. Cost will change, but this is what the price breakdown will be. Again, so you have 8 virtual CPU, you have 32 gigs of RAM, 128 gig storage hard drive, 32 gigs of RAM, 256, 32 gigs, and 512. I believe for the enterprise, they do have a 1 terabyte hard drive version. I believe I saw it somewhere, but I'm not 100% sure. Um, so again, easily cost effective, paying for a virtual PC versus versus actually buying one, configuring it, shipping it out. Um, who else waiting for that product to come in? You could actually just configure all that from the cloud and without any issues whatsoever. So stop sharing. I'm gonna see if I could still provisioning. Um, gonna see if I could find maybe a YouTube video, but yeah, it just takes some time. But again, so if we're talking about a cloud PC, what kind of issues are we gonna go into deal with when it comes to cloud PCs? Um, Manual labor of installing software, um, managing the license, um, user user experience. The user has to get used to Windows 11 instead of Windows 10. This is only available with Windows 11. I don't want to say I've heard Microsoft saying they're going to make a Windows 10 version, but I don't I don't think that's possible at this. Well, not possible. I don't think that's a proper move at this time. So mass adoption of Windows 11 is pretty much here. I don't see Microsoft going backwards to Windows 10, making it available in the cloud. You could still get that maybe from ASW, um, or maybe a VDI somewhere. But again, Microsoft is pushing forward with Windows 11. So if we look at installing software, um, what I've seen and what I've heard people talk about is that the if the cloud PC crashes, yes, that is a possibility. But again, you're talking about it's just a cloud PC, so you um, shouldn't really be concerned about it crashing. If your company is fully using Microsoft with OneDrive as their cloud storage, then basically you as the user has to start using those cloud features, start keeping your documents in your OneDrive, um, pinning shortcuts to the desktop. So again, it's training, user accessibility, the learning curve, things like that. But if we look at it from a technical point of view, there there definitely should be some improvements on the provisioning, because it's been almost 30 minutes, and 8 core 8 V core CPU, 32 gigs of RAM, 250 gigs of storage is still provisioning. But again, updates are going to happen. um, that's basically it. What else? Software deployment configuration from a remote standpoint. um, Again, depending on the MSP, should be some remote access tools on there, remote monitoring. Do you need an EDR solution on a cloud PC? Uh, that's a hard question to answer. Maybe if it had more power, virtual computing power, yes, maybe. But still, you have those policies from Microsoft that's on the back end that should be kicking in on the cloud PC once it gets provisioned. Um, so, so let's see what else. Okay, so if the cloud PC crashes, there's no way to restore it. You would have to kind of rebuild the cloud PC from a back, well, not from a back end. Go into the tenant, rebuild it, or just re-provision it. So, but it's nothing's 100%. You just have to kind of just look at it as a tool that's a work in progress, and it's going to get better in time. But it shouldn't take this long to provision it. I have to just, yeah, I wanted to show you what it would look like, but it's still provisioning. So let me see if I could find a YouTube video. Live cloud. Let's see. One of my PC's just slow. Um, just trying to find a simple video. Nothing too crazy. Okay, so this looks like a pretty decent video, short, straight to the point, which I've already told you. Let me share this screen.
We're going to walk through your ability to connect to your Windows 365 Cloud PC through Remote Desktop. Now you might remember in a previous lesson, we talked about the Quick Actions pane here up at the top of your Windows 365 dashboard. And you can see the one here, Download Remote Desktop. Now if you don't see it, maybe you click the little X and you took it off of the Quick Actions pane. That's okay, because right below the home icon here is a download arrow, and it takes you to the same place.
So, like I told you before,
Notice the
the
options that are
platform
available.
is the connect
You can
remote
get the
desktop connection
Microsoft Remote Desktop for
is
Windows,
available on all
and you can choose the
platforms.
flavor that you need: 64-bit, 32-bit, ARM64. You can get Remote Desktop for Mac, for iOS, for Android. Honestly, the Remote Desktop client for iOS, which requires iOS 13 or later, was so much easier to work with as opposed to trying to use the browser on my mobile devices, my iPhone or my iPad. You download the app on your device, and when you look to connect to a workspace, it'll ask you for the URL. And so you have to have the subscription URL. You just copy it here, and then you paste it into the Remote Desktop app. These are some of the live shots off of my iPhone. But in this particular demonstration, we're going to focus on using the Microsoft Remote Desktop for Windows. So we'll download one of these options, and it says set up remote desktop. It says your remote desktop download should begin automatically. Once it's finished, open the file to complete the installation. Here's the remote desktop setup wizard. We click next, accept the terms, click next, install it just for me, and we'll have it launch remote desktop when setup exits. Again, we need to get the subscription URL, which is located here. We click copy. And now with remote desktop, we're going to subscribe with URL. We'll enter in the copied URL and click next. We put in the account of the user that we're connecting with. Put in the password. And as you can see, the remote desktop app here, very similar to the one on my iPhone, has the Cloud PC set up because we logged in with Gary Colson's account. We select that. Once again, for the sake of security, we have to put in our password. And there you go. Now we have our fully functional Windows 11 system. As cool as it is to see Windows 11 in a browser, especially on any device, that's really cool, but it's so much easier to work with through remote desktop. You can even see it's a lot clearer and cleaner, and it just feels like a real operating system because it can take up the entire screen, and I can work with it as if it really is the operating system of the computer I'm working off of. So now you know how to connect to your Windows 365 Cloud PC through remote desktop on pretty much any device. We hope you found that informative.
Yeah, so like I was saying, it's extremely easy to connect to. I want to remote onto this in real time, but it looks like it's going to take a while. But I'm not going to stay on this live that long. Let me see if I could get it. Just bear with me 1 second. Copy. I already have the remote desktop connection on my machine. I was testing this a while back when it was done as an early release, so I still have it on my machine. So let me see if I could connect to it. It says it's still provisioning, but all right. Details. All right, let me do this real quick. Let me uninstall it, reinstall the remote desktop connection, and see if I could get to it that way. while it's still provisioning. Let me see if I could do it that way. But if not, I wanted to show you what it looks like on both versions, on the browser and on the remote desktop. But definitely, it does look much cleaner from the remote desktop connection. Um, so okay, so I'm installing the remote desktop connection. I'm going to reinstall it again. Yeah, just don't know why it's taken so long to provision. That probably plays a factor also that all the security settings I'm running on my tenant um, does take some time to apply, but let's see. But I want to see if I could connect to it before I end the live. The next live I'm gonna do is probably gonna be in 2 weeks. I'm gonna go like do a deep dive into AI and GPT on why a lot of those servers are extremely dense. So I'll post that. Yeah, I'm just doing some research right now. Going. Okay, so all right, so launch. Subscribe. URL. Be connect. Paste. Okay, so it looks like it's gonna let me log in. I'm still getting an error. All right, unsubscribe. All right, so interesting. Let me see if I could. All right, let me log in with this password. All right, so it looks like it's connecting. I want to make sure it connects before I share my screen. I think it might just be a license issue on the back end with my account. But okay, so let's share it. Cancel. Share. Okay. All right, so it's logging me in now. This version, I don't remember the specs, but I believe it's 8 gig V CPU, maybe 32 gigs of RAM with a 128 gig storage. I was working with a consultant behind the scenes, so her machine was just a little slow. So I gave her this version to do some side work. So again, you have a fully function Windows 11 machine. Yeah, I just look, well, I love how Windows 11 looks because there's a lot of branding behind the scenes when it comes to my tenant. So I have my business logo there. Um, when I log in, I see everything that I was previously working on. So let me see if I could launch Microsoft Office. Microsoft Teams pops up. I'm gonna close Teams because a lot of sensitive conversation in there. But it's me talking to my clients. Close window. Let's see, Office. Might have to just download Office again, but again, you're seeing. Just close that. I don't normally use my own tenant as a demo, but you're seeing what it looks like. A fully function Windows 11 machine that's cloud ready. So let's go on to Microsoft Bing. Now let's open up Google Chrome. Yeah, so I normally don't use my own tenant. I have my own demo tenant, but just had a lot of stuff to do today, so I couldn't really prepare my demo tenant. So you have a full Windows machine that's cloud ready. I don't want to log into Google, so let's go to YouTube, see how it looks. So extremely fast, even on this lower, I'll call this the lower spec, but even on this, it's extremely fast. Let's look at my YouTube channel. I see a lot of YouTubers kind of sneak this into their presentation, but look at that. That's fast. Let's look at some shorts because the sound does definitely
This
play.
artist has an amazing talent and will shock everyone. He has an incredible talent and is just too funny. Except that one of the judges is unfortunately going to come and ruin everything.
I'm making my oldest sister's birthday cake, and she loves the color purple, so.
Yep. So again, full audio, fully scalable. So again, you could definitely see that this solution's been worked on, it's been thought out. Unlike traditional VMs that just when you log into it, it's just a just an unhappy environment, PC environment, this gives you the full features of Windows 11. Let me go to File Explorer, or let's go to the Microsoft Store. So even on the lower specifications, it's lower specs, it's still moving fast. The App Store itself always takes a while to load. But again, yep. So that works. Let's see. Let me see if I could do a speed test on this. See if we could get some real-time results. Again, download speed looks, no one gets that on their machine, regardless of how fast their internet is. So this is pretty much from a data center, one of Microsoft's data centers, probably one of the East Coast data centers. But again, speeds like that, no one gets at home. Let's do another one just for shits and giggles. There was a company that I'm gonna be working with behind the scenes, and to be honest, I don't know why they're gonna ship a laptop to me when they could just easily set up a cloud PC. Maybe they don't have the infrastructure, or maybe they don't have the manpower to do it. But again, on a full cloud PC, on a lower specification cloud PC, you're getting good download speeds and you're getting good upload speed. So why would you even ship a machine to me when you could just use this? But again, yeah, on a cloud PC that, no one thinks of that could work. So again, we test the sound quality coming from YouTube. Sound quality is good. Let's see if I could get some music. I'm just finding anything.
Get away with a great deal with
Ads.
the Hyundai Getaway sales event. Now's the time to get in and get away. Get 0% APR and 0
So skip.
Stuff special.
Yeah, look at the sound quality is good. Stream quality is good. And this is a machine that has a lower specification than anything else. So I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm going to shut this machine down. So disconnect. And this is all coming from the remote desktop connection. Let me show you what it looks like again. Window. Again, if you want to see me do this connection through a Mac, just leave the comment below. I'll do a quick video and post it up. But this is what the remote desktop connection looks like. This is the cloud PC, and all you have to do is just double click on it, launch it. Again, so I was saying this is the 2V CPU, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gig of hard drive storage, and it was moving pretty fast, in my opinion. No lag. Sound quality from YouTube was good. Again, so when we talk about affordability, scalability, Windows 11 cloud PC, meets all those boxes. So I'm gonna end the live here. I don't want to stay on too long. This was just a quick one. Um, just did. I'm probably gonna do another live in maybe 2 weeks. I'm gonna talk about Chat GPT, AI, what kind of servers they run on. I'm gonna show you the pictures of the actual server it's running on, and let you know why AI is why it's so expensive. Because what you're seeing now with Chat GPT and Open AI, the AI is basically learning, so that's why they opened it up so fast to everybody. But as it's learning, it's consuming a lot of GPU, and I know for a fact that it's eating through their budget, infrastructure budget. So the servers that it's running on, or the servers that it's using to compute the power and give you your quick answers, I know for a fact it's eating up their budget. So that's why they launched that I believe the 14.99 tier to give people quicker access. That's just to bring in revenue so they could pay off the cost of those servers. So I'm gonna do that in probably 2 weeks. I'm gonna do some research before I even get post my information. So again, this was Windows 11 um, running on Windows 365 Cloud, and I was able to log into it through Microsoft, which is available on all platforms, Mac, Android, and so forth. So I'm gonna end the live here. So for again, if you're a small, medium-sized business looking for cloud solution, my link is gonna be below in the live. How to contact me is gonna be below. If you're a business that's looking for cybersecurity and to get cybersecurity insurance, I was able to get one of my clients their cybersecurity insurance using my tools and my products and services. Also, if you law firm that's looking to build a malpractice case or use data breaches as building your business, it show you how I verify data breaches in real time. What I could show you the dark web tool that I use to access the dark web and the deep web in real time, and show you how I verify the data breaches. Let me see. Also, we could use the dark web tool to kind of just do slight pen testing. If you're concerned about your security posture, I could use the tool to basically scan your environment and let you know if there's issues with passwords, um, just things that need to be tightened up on. Let me see what else. The merch store is up. I appreciate the support. Buying some teas or whatever. There's going to be some good designs coming soon, but I really appreciate the support. Also, please like, share, and subscribe this live. And I'll also be coming back next week. So again, this was a quick live, just talking about Windows 365. And thank you, and see you again soon.